right, so let's get into it, guys. We're going to be marking up NQ, ES, and maybe NG. We'll see. So let's get started with NQ. NQ got some weekly levels that we're going to be paying attention to right here. Or weekly zone, I should say. Then we got another weekly zone up here. All right, so what we've had on the weekly, all right, we can see that this was the initial move through this zone here, and then retest it, and then we had another move through this zone here, which held the market under for a bit, came back up, and the market was able to close through both these zones last week. So really strong move there. So what we'll be waiting to see is how we're able to actually react to the market retesting this weekly zone, and if we get continuation from it. Let's see what else we might find on the weekly. There's obviously these levels down here. They're still going to be kind of valid. All right, let's get that marked up, the accuracy. So still a level to pay attention to, or a zone to pay attention to. There was an area here to just note on the weekly. When you get a candle like this, you can kind of just mark it up and it'll give you some information. And we won't have, put this on a chart because it takes up a lot of chart real estate, but what I will do is put a zone as far as a box on the chart and then just do some quick analysis within that to see how price action did. So in this zone here, we basically just stayed inside of it and we're able to hold price. Let me see something really quick. That 62 level was, market reacted a bunch off of that. Cool. All right, so on the weekly, I believe that's pretty much everything for the weekly up to this point. The only other area of interest on the weekly is up here at the very top. Up here. So we pay attention there. All right, so if we do find some type of support here, the only next likely area would be for the market to move up here towards the 22,300 level. We'll see if we're able to hold this level. We could completely just break back through. And let me see something. Okay. All right, so on the daily, we do have there's a lot of price action up here. Let's see if there is an obvious level here. Kind of right there. Let's turn into red. Let's try to get it as accurate as possible. All right, so that's a daily level there. And yeah, the market tapped, went down, tried to go back up. And then we have a gap to the downside currently. So we'll see how this market holds at this level. The next kind of daily level to pay attention to. Let me see. It'll be probably about here. Yeah, somewhere in there. Let's make it more accurate now. So if I was to make this as accurate as possible, I'd want to get to the point where the most wicks intersect, and like at the top of a wick. So we got a lot of intersection here, and so I'd say this would be one of the levels to pay attention to see if the market's able to do anything above here. And to make it even more accurate, let's actually let's finish checking out the daily, but then we would go down to the 4 hour and we would make it even more accurate at that point. Looks like there's a level right in here. All right, so as far as the daily time frame goes, though, we do have a break of this level here. We'll see how the market reacts when it gets back down there, if it gets back down there, and act accordingly from there. As far as the 4 hour time frame goes, this is where you can get some really accurate levels. So that looks good on the 4 hour. So let's actually change it to our normal color. And then let's kind of scroll. Let's see if there's a way to get it more accurate. Maybe here, a 150 level. Yeah. So we'll see if the market's able to maintain price below this level during a significant market time or market hours. Let's make this one more accurate up here. It seems fairly accurate already, but accuracy is key. All right, that seems good. Yep. Okay, yep. So we had a double. Boom, tap, perfect. Super accurate there. Okay. Let's see what other levels we have down here. So we got something in here at the 800 level. Let's see. About here looks good. All right, start there and then zoom in and try to make it as accurate as possible. About right there. Let's scroll over. Yep. Okay, cool. Try to do 1 or 2 more levels. see if this is still an important level. Let's actually see it over here. All right, so as far as the levels go, let's say about right here. It may readjust as I scroll to the right. All right, seeming pretty accurate so far. That's fairly accurate. I'm sure there is a level somewhere in here. It'll probably be about here. Okay. So not bad. Not bad for right now. We'll see if we're able to reclaim below this level during the New York session. If we are able to close below this level, the New York session, it may be a sign we want to revisit some of these levels down here. If we're able to hold price under there, which would be the key, not simply just wicking through or being under there for a few minutes. Actually being able to close on a significant time frame under these levels, above or below these levels, is important. And then being able to stay under for the next time frame is important. So that's one thing we'll keep a note of on that. So those are the levels for NQ. If we get up above here, I'll do, you know, levels for up here. The only real level I'm seeing is probably going to be this 21, almost 21,900 level. I guess while I'm here, I might as well just do one. Yeah, so the 877 level. Okay, perfect. So the monthly, kind of the same thing as NQ. On the monthly, we got a break here of this level. We just came back up, retested, and we kind of are bouncing up into the retest of this too. So there's two monthly levels of interest to really be paying attention to right now. We got this level here, we got this level up here. Got 2 more weeks in the month basically, and yeah, from there you guys see how price closes. If it's able to come back down here, that could be a bearish sign. Could be, not 100% sure. Gotta obviously let the price action play out, but at least we're able to note those areas. All right, so we got a weekly level here, just like on NQ. We closed above this weekly zone. And let's mark this off. All right, so I got a weekly zone there. We'll see how price reacts when it revisits. So typically when you close above, when you come back down to retest, you get some type of reaction. We'll see if we do. And we'll see what other levels we have as far as 4-hour levels within that zone itself that may be, you know, decent context for us. We also had this whole little level here is kind of a zone. But what I'll do is I'll simply draw. We got another one there. Okay, so we got these two areas that may be helping prop the market up. Like as far as when it comes back down and retest, it could have a reaction to the top side. Not 100% sure, just got to see how the market reacts while it's in those zones. And then up here we have, I'll go ahead and mark off this whole little area here. Like this is the kind of all-time high zone. Okay, so we got that. Let's now kind of just see. We were able to, as far as structure goes, you know, we're creating highs, create a point here. This is the last point the market couldn't break above. This was the last floor that the market found before pushing up to new highs. Then we broke through this floor and weren't able to create a new ceiling. So then the floor came down. Now we're trying to retest. We had a ceiling here that the market was able to close above now. So we'll see if this retest does anything. This will be an area to really pay attention to as well. So for this one, I'll do a special one. It's like a potential weekly support. Put a question mark on it because I'm not 100% sure. All right, let's go down to the daily. So on the daily, we do have some levels of interest. There is a potential smackdown little area here that the market could be finding it difficult to get above. We'll have to wait for the market to actually get up there before we'll know. But daily zone marked off. I'm not really seeing much by way of the daily as far as context goes, as far as like anything else. Obviously we've been going back up and we've, you know, last swing high, we're able to break that, retest and hold above. So we'll see what that means as far as the market goes this week. But as far as the 4-hour level is our bread and butter, let's get into it. Easiest way to really find this would be simply going to your candle and then just go on line chart, and you can find these levels fairly easy by just like doing a line chart. So you get the main like location, main areas, and then from there you just go back to actual regular, you know, Japanese candlesticks, and then use the wicks to help you get more accuracy. About right there. I'm sure it'll be somewhere in here. All right, let's go back to the candles and then let's get some accuracy going. Go from bottom to top. All right, so if we're looking for the most accuracy, could be here, could be there. I want to say that one's probably it. Yep, freaking accuracy, look at that. Yep, nice. Okay. All right, as far as this one over here, zoom in a little bit. Maybe right there. or even right there. Yeah, looking good. Yep. Okay, yep, I've seen enough touches to feel decently confident about that level. All right, this next one, that one's placed pretty well already. Yep, that one's placed extremely well already, but maybe could be better there. I think that one's gonna be, yeah, yep. All right, let's go to the next one. It wasn't bad, but if we're to make it even more accurate, we would move it to here. Yep. All right, for this one, we're trying to get more accuracy. We got more wick up here, probably about there. Yeah, looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I love the placement of that one as far as seeing what it's doing on these in these areas over here. Could find a better level. This one, yeah, I kind of like that one a little bit better. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's start on the last one in G, and I'm just going to try to mark up some levels of interest. Got that one right there. Probably got one here. We're currently at one. Let's put it back to candles. Let's see if we can make these as accurate as possible now. Let's go top, bottom to top. See right there. Okay. For this one, if I was trying to make this as accurate as possible, I would go here. Yep, right there. chart right there. That one looks really good actually. Yep. This one, I'm gonna move it up. There we go. Yep, that's good. Okay, where's current price? Okay, I think I got enough levels to last me at least a few sessions, so I'll stop it there. I'm basically gonna see if we're able to make anything happen tomorrow morning, trading natural gas a little earlier than before my NQ session, so we'll see. I could maybe do one here. Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for charting with me, guys. Hopefully this was helpful, and let's crush it this week.